Welcome to the Empowered Boundaries class for homeschool moms that are navigating holiday challenges with confidence and clarity. Why might you want to empower your boundaries before the holidays? Well, probably because you're going to spend a lot more time with other people, and with other people, you have different relationships, and also because there's a lot going on, and you are often at the hub of all the activity. So let's learn how to self validate, strengthen your relationship with others, strengthen your relationship with yourself so you can enable more authenticity, purpose, and freedom at your holidays and also for the rest of your life. What will we do in this boundaries class? Well, we'll begin to understand your boundary challenges more clearly, and I'll help encourage you with practical tools and perspective shifts that you can use over the course of the holidays and beyond. What is a boundary anyway? Boundaries are essentially the invisible line that define where you end and others begin, both emotionally and physically. They are the framework that dictates how you interact with the world and how the world interacts with you. Think of them as personal limits that safeguard your well-being, preserve your energy, and protect your person. They aren't a one-size-fits-all concept. They're highly individualized. What's considered a comfortable boundary for you might not be the same for another. We all have our distinct set of boundaries shaped by our life experiences, values, and preferences. Mutual respect is the key. By recognizing and appreciating the differences in how we define and maintain our boundaries, we can create an environment of understanding and empathy. This can pave the way for more harmonious interactions with others, but ultimately, our ability to navigate these blurry lines with grace and respect can lead to a more fulfilling connection with others and a greater sense of self. What boundaries do we need? Well, in a nutshell, you get to decide what you need, but you might want boundaries around time, around your personal space, boundaries to make sure you get your needs met. Maybe you need to learn how to speak to yourself differently. Maybe you need to speak to others the same way that you want them to speak to you. There are so many possibilities, so many possible boundaries that you want to instill. Grab your journal and a pen. Before we get started, record your first thoughts, the boundary challenges you might need to address before the holidays, and what boundaries you want to include all year long. If we haven't met, I'm Teresa Wiedrich. I am the certified life coach and homeschool mentor over at www.capturingthecharmedlife.com. I host a podcast, Homeschool Mama Self-Care, and my mission is to empower homeschool moms by helping them unearth what they already know, guiding them to overcome self-imposed obstacles, and enabling them to live their lives on purpose. Sometimes I'm coaching around boundary challenges. Sometimes it's about exploring unique identity or supporting the discovery of that person's life purpose. Sometimes I'm talking about deschooling, and sometimes I'm talking about child-led learning and just doing general homeschool mentoring. I also understand the significance of navigating all the intricacies of homeschooling and family life and how to be in your family but still address your needs. Because ultimately, I want you to live with authenticity, confidence, and purpose. So if we haven't met, it's nice to meet you. You'll know that you have boundary challenges if this is you. And I only chose 4 different scenarios. There could be oodles of possibilities here. But one could be that you're bugged when someone comments about your homeschool choice, or you second guess yourself when other people think differently than you think. or you don't know how to respond to unsupportive questions. Sometimes those goofy questions that you can get in the grocery aisle, or maybe you get at the Thanksgiving table. Or maybe you find yourself doing what others want because they want you to do it, even though it doesn't make sense to you. Or maybe you push back if someone asks you something in a pushy, thoughtless way. These things may signify that you have boundary challenges. Imagine if you didn't feel triggered by others' opinions. You routinely had time for yourself. You didn't doubt yourself when someone doubted you. You were confident in your responses toward family members who weren't homeschool supportive. You knew how to address questions directed to your child about random knowledge bits, and you weren't afraid to address conflict with others. There are so many possibilities, common boundary breaking scenarios that I hear about, and I am sure you have your unique scenarios too. If you want to chat with me about the potential for life coaching on building boundaries, you're welcome to connect with me to have a coaching consultation on Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons. It's free, and you're welcome to chat with me, discover if life coaching would serve you in this way. But what might be a boundary breaking scenario for you? Here's some that I hear often. Aunt Matilda quizzes Timmy whether he knows how to multiply fractions. He's 6. A relative makes a random comment. Oh, I don't know, about shouldn't you be in school? Oh, right, you're homeschooled. Or there's unhelpful family questions, like the mother-in-law says to the kids, did you know there's friends for you in schools? Or you're planning a picture-perfect holiday. Girlfriend, that is a recipe for trouble. Maybe you're putting your needs on the back burner. Maybe someone brings up something hot button at the Thanksgiving table. I'm kind of curious. What is the flavor of the year hot button question this year? Or has it changed? Maybe it stayed the same in the last 3 years. But in the last few years, it kind of seems like Thanksgiving has a different energy, wouldn't you say? I'm curious what you'd say your common boundary breaking scenarios are in your home. I think one of the boundary breaks that we all can succumb to as mothers around the holidays is to break a boundary against ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to lower our expectations so we don't disappoint ourselves, and also honor and acknowledge that this Christmas thing is as much for us as it is our kids. We love it because we love watching our children engage, but it definitely makes us happy too. So build in opportunities to do things for you over the holidays. And remember, you're not the only one who needs to serve. Others can help. All of the others. Remember, during the holidays, it's not solely the responsibility of you to create a joyful season. Everyone in the family can contribute, lightening the load and really fostering more togetherness. And I know with 4 kids that 3 of my kids have graduated. I've got 4 kids, and I've learned that over the years, just creating the activities that we do together, whether it's mashing potatoes or making gravy, whatever we're doing, it actually builds tradition. You should be having fun too. Holidays are for everyone, including you. So don't forget to make time for you. Practice asking for help. I know it can be tough. I know that it cannot always be done the way you would do it, but it is worth their learning and also your freedom. Sit back and watch. Make that part of your holidays. Just watching how they're learning different skills or abilities in the kitchen, maybe cutting down a tree, all the things. Use the holidays to practice seeking help, easing your load, and promoting family communication. So what do you need during your holiday? Reflect on your needs, whether it's solitude or maybe you relish that creativity that often holidays bring. Maybe it's moments of relaxation. When will you find time for quiet? I know it's hard, especially when the kids are younger, to find those moments of quiet to recharge. But when you do, you're going to enjoy the whole thing a whole lot more. So, what do you really need to give to yourself? Remember that self care is not selfish. Self care acknowledges that you're a human and humans have needs. So, identify what nourishes your spirit, be it self reflection, like journaling, or creativity, I don't know, knitting, or maybe exercising. Recently, I've been bouncing on the trampoline. Whatever you're doing, make sure that you don't forget you at the holidays. You honor yourself. The thing about boundaries, the way that you build boundaries and maintain them with other people directly reflects your relationship with yourself. So build relationship with yourself before the holidays. Your relationship with yourself reflects your relationship with others. So the first thing we need to do is to see ourselves as separate from our others, our kids, the important people in our lives. Remember that you, who you are on this planet, is different than those that you care for. And your role as homeschool mom, though it be a very valuable one, is a role. It's not you. One day it'll end. Ask me how I know. It's essential to honor your individuality. Also, spend time with yourself. Make sure you've got moments of solitude to recharge. Incorporate mindfulness moments, something I often encourage homeschool moms to do, whether they are building boundaries around the holidays or any time of the year, is to grab their device and schedule in a mindful moment. Maybe your phone will tell you to breathe at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, like it does for me every day. And when it goes off, put my hand on my heart, take a deep breath, and ask myself, how am I feeling? What are the thoughts behind those feelings? Is there a story that I've created around those thoughts? It helps me to connect in with myself. Remember to pause, breathe, and be present so you can reduce your stress around the holidays and remain attuned to the most important things. P.S. It won't be a picture-perfect holiday. It's not supposed to be. Your entire mothering journey is perfectly imperfect. So, for the challenging boundary scenarios that you initially recorded in your journal, or the ones that you have in the back of your mind as you are listening to this class, I encourage you to create a plan. Because this ain't Groundhog Day, girlfriend. Holidays feel like a repetitive cycle of stress for homeschool moms, and it certainly is an opportunity to have a conflict with someone again. And it is certainly an opportunity for you to ignore your needs again. So to break free, you got to plan ahead. Decide in advance what you're going to do about it. You need to know how you respond and how you might need to learn to respond differently in a conflict moment. Maybe you want to identify your typical response. Are you over accommodating? Are you confrontational or avoidant or passive aggressive? Whatever it is, you want to determine how to show up on purpose in that relationship because that's what you do. So pre-plan, grab your journal, write down the scenario as though it's a narrative or a story that's happening right here, right now. Imagine the dialogue between you and this other person. Write it down as you would expect it to play out. Then cross out your section at various points where you are engaging in ways you wish you didn't, and write in the response you'd rather choose. Now, I know between you and me that there are some people that are not agreeing with you. They are not agreeing with you to be in relationship like this, and that's their choice. It's not pleasant. You get to decide if you want to be in relationship with them. You also get to decide how important their part in your life is if they are unwilling to engage in respectful interactions. Always expect respect. Make sure you say it out loud in a respectful way, possibly not in the moment. Anticipate mutual respect and clearly define it with that person at a non-heated moment. Respond, don't react. Easy to say, I know it is, but that's our goal. That's our goal because we don't want to act impulsively and make choices we didn't initially intend. It'll lead to a more peaceful, harmonious holiday. It may lead to a challenging relationship issue that you're going to have to figure out after the holidays, but show up on purpose because you determined that you want to. And when you don't, give yourself grace. We all make mistakes and we have all got boundaries to bolster. These are my principles of relating to others, but you do you, girlfriend. Grab your journal again and write down how you want to relate to others too. Maybe make it like your own manifesto. My aim is to forge authentic connections, not to please everyone, because if I'm being authentic, I'm not going to please everyone. Other people's opinions of me don't define who I am. I determine who I am. I am free to choose my relationships and how I engage or show up with others. I don't have to compromise my comfort to relate to others. It's my responsibility to listen to others with empathy and understanding. I'm not obligated to accept shame, blame, or condescension during conflicts. I'm allowed to establish and maintain my boundaries. It's important to be aware of whether I'm acting from a place of fear or authenticity when I am establishing and maintaining my boundaries. Because if it's coming out of a place of fear, it's debatable whether it is an intentional boundary. I have the right to express my opinions and ask them to be listened to. I'm capable of embracing my authentic, vulnerable self and being true to myself. These are the things that define how I relate to others. Why don't you grab your journal and write down how you want to choose to relate to others? To be yourself in a world where we can be ourselves that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment, said Ralph Waldo Emerson. This profound quote reminds homeschool moms of the importance of staying true to themselves, even during the more stressful holiday season. Amidst the chaos and expectations, remember that your unique self, you, and your well-being matter. So prioritize self-care, build and uphold your boundaries, and be your full, authentic self. Embracing your individuality in a world that often seeks conformity is indeed a remarkable achievement, and it enhances not only your own life, but also the lives of your family and your loved ones. Boundaries for the homeschool mom who wants to get her needs met, have authentic connections, satisfying relationships, and wants to show up on purpose in her homeschool and life is the title of the coaching program I offer to homeschool moms. In it, we'll address and understand our boundary challenges and build into ourselves with practical tools and clarifying perspectives. I've come to understand that the energy we have for our homeschools and our lives is directly proportional to our boundaries, the boundaries we have in our relationships, the ones we have with ourselves, and how we nurture ourselves. So let's build boundaries into your homeschool and your life, clarify your needs, your relationships, and your identity. Oh, and the biggest benefit? Practically transforming how you approach yourself, which directly influences how you approach others, which shifts your relationship towards more satisfying relationships. Your needs are addressed. You're clarifying your identity, thereby your daily purpose, and it actually simplifies the things you're doing in a day. All of this so that you can build boundaries that will transform how you learn to advocate for you so you can become more you and live your life on purpose. Here, I introduce you to 3 real homeschool mamas who have worked with me, and I want to share with you what they've said about working with me. Britt is a homeschool mom of 3, and she said, I knew I had boundary issues. I just wasn't clear on when, why, or how that began. And Teresa really held space to help me explore it. She listens deeply and asks the most poignant, reflective questions. She's definitely a gifted space holder and quite unique in a way I've only experienced with a handful of people in my life. It's been integral to unearth these insights and remember them when I'm in the middle of a sort of boundary crisis or a situation that has the potential to cross my boundaries in an unhealthy way. It anchors me and supports me in responding, then immediately and unconsciously reacting. Holly said, Teresa has been a tremendous value towards my growth in homeschooling and self-care. She's encouraging and supportive of all that I long to pursue. I'm so grateful that I have her to walk alongside me in this journey. Okay, I'm beaming right here because it has been a true pleasure to walk alongside other homeschool moms in their life journey. And Carla said, Teresa is the real deal, an experienced homeschool mom who's been there, done that, and can help others get out of overwhelm. Her ability to hold space for silence and difficult feelings makes her no small talk approach so effective. I trust her. Her retreat, resources, and Ask Me Anything meetings have served me tremendously. I'm so glad she's in my corner. And if you are still in this webinar and interested in participating in a community like that or looking for coaching, definitely connect with me. Amidst this holiday hustle, homeschool moms, I hope you can thrive by embracing who you really are, proactively setting boundaries, practicing mindfulness, and being more present, even though a whole lot more is going on. By actively listening, fostering respect, you can resolve conflicts that arise more thoughtfully and indirectly requiring others to listen to you too. This is going to empower you to navigate your boundary challenges more gracefully, ensuring you have hopefully a lot more of a harmonious holiday season. And to you, whatever holiday you honor, I wish you a wonderful holiday season filled with joy, peace, and meaningful connections.